The great Renaissance mage, Cornelius Agrippa, says, "In these 28 mansions do lie hid many secrets of the wisdom of the ancients, by which they wrought wonders on all things which are under the circle of the moon." The mansions of the moon, known in Arabic as the Manazil al-Qamar, the resting places of the moon, are an ancient division of the orbit of the moon. They should not be confused with her phases, the waxing and waning of the moon. The waxing and waning of the moon shows her relationship to the sun. The mansions of the moon track her orbit around the Earth. Just as the movement of the sun can be seen through the signs of the zodiac, the movement of the moon can be seen through her mansions. In the Vedic astrology of India, there are 27 mansions. In Arabic astrology, which is the major influence on traditional European astrology, there are 28 mansions. Since it takes 27.3 days for the moon to orbit the Earth, we can see that either 27 or 28 mansions is logical. The origin of the mansions is shrouded in mystery. They are renowned primarily for their use in magic, and for the creation of astrological talismans. Each mansion had a different name, purpose, talisman, and ruling spirit. The mage or astrologer would wait until the moon had entered the proper mansion, and then invoke the spirit of the mansion, known as a mansion lord or ruler, and then ensoul a talisman with magical power through ritual, consecration, and ceremonial magic. There is some controversy about the different methods of locating the boundaries of the mansions. The most famous grimoire of astrological magic, the Picatrix, orients the 28 mansions to the tropical zodiac, traditionally used by all European astrologers. The tropical zodiac is based on the sun and the seasons of the year, with the sun entering Aries on the spring equinox, the first day of spring, entering Cancer on Midsummer's Day, the summer solstice, and entering Libra on the autumnal equinox, and finally entering Capricorn on the winter solstice. Using the tropical mansions, the first mansion began with Aries, the 8th mansion with Cancer, the 15th mansion with Libra, and the 22nd mansion with Capricorn. These tropical mansions are regular in size, approximately 12 degrees and 51 minutes. The Vedic astrology of India uses a sidereal zodiac, in which the mansions are again regular and of equal size, approximately 13 degrees and 20 minutes. However, the sidereal zodiac, the beginning of Aries, is oriented not to the seasons, but to the fixed stars, which move very slowly, approximately a degree every 72 years due to the precession of the equinoxes. Therefore, the sidereal zodiac does not exactly correspond to the fixed stars. Despite the effectiveness and accuracy of the tropical zodiac, many moderns reject it on philosophical grounds, because they feel it does not correspond to the real stars. With regard to the mansions, they insist that a constellational zodiac, that is a zodiac based completely on the material stars, is the only possible method. The constellational mansions, therefore, are based on the location of certain fixed stars, and are highly irregular in shape. The constellational mansions exert an almost uncanny fascination for moderns, since they follow the, quote, actual stars. Because of the influence of materialistic science, even when doing magic and astrology, both spiritual sciences, moderns wish to apply materialistic concepts in theory. Because they cannot see the action of the mansions as arising from anything other than some sort of rays or beams or field from the physical stars themselves, there is an immediate tendency to embrace the constellational mansions. There certainly was a strand of traditional astrology that followed along these lines. But the majority of traditional astrologers and magicians took a more Platonic approach that saw the regular, even harmony of the tropical mansions as reflecting the perfection of higher spiritual realities, which are distorted and imperfect in their material manifestation. While I follow my illustrious predecessors in preferring the tropical mansions, in my books and courses I provide the boundaries of both the tropical and constellational mansions, so you can experiment with both and decide for yourself. The key source for astrological talismans of the mansions of the moon is Picatrix. Written in Arabic around AD 1000, it was translated into Spanish and then Latin in 1256 at the court of Alfonso the Wise of Castile as part of a great translation project that brought the accumulated knowledge and wisdom of the great Islamic civilization of the Middle East into medieval Europe. European astrology of the Middle Ages and Renaissance, known as traditional astrology, relied heavily on picatrix for the astrological magic of the mansions. By invoking the spirit of a particular mansion, known as the Mansion Lord, when the moon was in that mansion, the mage could then ensoul a talisman with the power of that mansion, allowing them to do incredible works of magic. Note that there are numerous sources for the names of the lords of the mansions, some in Arabic and some in Latin, all transliterations and translations from the original ancient languages. Let's walk through the process of creating a lunar mansion talisman. The first thing we do is decide what effect we wish to create with a talisman. For example, wealth and good fortune. An excellent mansion for wealth is my favorite, the third mansion. Known as Althuria, this is the mansion of the Pleiades star cluster. Picatrix says of the third mansion, it is for the acquisition of all good things. When the moon is passed into the third mansion, fashion the figure of a seated woman, with her right hand raised over her head, and wrap the image in cloth, and cense it with musk, camphor, mastic, and aromatic oils, and say, You, Lord of the mansion, make such and such to happen, and speak her petition here to her for whatever good thing you wish. Fashion this image in a silver ring with a square table, and then place it on your finger. When you have performed this, as aforesaid, it will be as you wish, and your request will be carried out with speed. The name of the lord, or in this case, the lady of the third mansion, is listed as Annuncia in the Latin Picatrix, as Amixiel in Cornelius Agrippa's 3 Books of Occult Philosophy, and as Abulsith by the Islamic astrologer Ibn Hatim. I think it is wise to invoke the mansion lord by all the variant names listed in all sources. So using a special mansion's ephemeris, or my mansion tracker software, we can see when the moon is next in her third mansion. You can then make an effective short-term mansion talisman from paper. Black and white images from the Picatrix descriptions, drawn by the contemporary artist and mage Nigel Jackson, are included in my mansion's book, and tinted images, like the one shown in this video, are included in my Mansions of the Moon mini-course and Astrological Magic full course. At Renaissance Astrology, we also cast beautiful silver talismans, including the third mansion of the moon. These talismans are stronger and much more long-lasting than paper talismans. After drawing or casting the talisman, the mage then invokes the lord of the mansion while burning candles and appropriate incense, and asks the mansion lord to infuse the talisman with their power to ensoul it with their spirit. The talisman is then charged with magical power. It is useful to repeat this consecration ceremony once a month when the moon returns to the appropriate mansion. This helps build up a strong bond between you and the lord of the mansion and increases the effects of the talisman. I can personally attest to the power of the talisman of the third mansion. For the past 3 years, every time the moon enters the third mansion, I invoke the lady of the mansion. Every month for 3 years, right around this time, my business increases dramatically. I have studied the 28 mansions of the moon for over a decade. I teach their talismans in my Mansions mini-course and Astrological Magic full course. Still, I have yet to plumb the depths of their mysteries. The moon, queen of the night, still remains enigmatic, concealing her secrets in her 28-fold orbit, the Mansions of the Moon.